Today we're going to talk triads, and specifically the upper structure triads used to make seventh chords. Now, triads are a great way to start mapping out things on the fretboard, and these upper structure triads I'm going to show you today are a great way to simplify playing over more complex chord changes. The chord progression we're going to use for today's lesson is from the song Autumn Leaves. Now, the basic chords are C minor 7, F dominant 7, B flat major 7, E flat major 7, A minor 7 flat 5, D7, and G minor 7. Now, a triad is a 3-note chord consisting of a root, a third, and a fifth. But when we add the 7th to the chord, we get our first upper structure triad, which comes from the 3rd, 5th, and 7th of the chord. If we look at this C minor 7 chord voicing right here, we can see right inside the chord is an E flat major triad. So that means anywhere we know an E flat major triad, we can play that over C minor 7. Now, of course, this means we've got to know our triads all over the fretboard. Now, mapping out triads is pretty straightforward. Because it's a 3-note chord, there's basically 3 positions we can play these triads in, and we can break it down into string sets. So I'll play now the 3 positions of E flat major broken down into sets of 3 strings. That looks like this. Now we can continue this for all the chords in the progression. And since we've got some different types of chords in this song, that'll give us some different types of triads. For instance, when we move to F dominant 7, the triad, the upper structure triad built off the 3rd, 5th, and flat 7th of that chord is actually a diminished triad, right? A diminished. And as we move on to B flat major 7, the upper structure triad for a major 7th chord is a minor triad. So if we look at this voicing of B flat major 7 right here, we can see that there's a D minor triad right above the B flat bass note. And moving to E flat major, the upper structure triad is G minor. Then as we get to A minor 7 flat 5, if we look at this voicing right here, we can see right away that there's a C minor triad right within that chord. And then continuing on to D7, we have another diminished upper structure triad, in this case F sharp diminished. And then ending with G minor 7, we have a B flat major triad. Now you'll want to take your time mapping out these triads all over the neck, but once you start to get a handle on it, you can start comping over the changes using these upper structure triads over each of these 7th chords. I'll play an example now where I will just stick to this upper middle string set, the D, G, and B string, and just play through the 3 positions using these upper structure triads over each one of these chords. So now I'll play another example, moving around a little bit through the different positions and switching up the string sets to kind of show you how once you get, comfortable with these shapes, comfortable enough to kind of move around freely, the types of things you can do when you're using these triads in your comping. So obviously, the more comfortable you are with these shapes, the easier it is to start using them when you're improvising. And we can use these triad shapes as sort of a guideline for our single note lines to target key chord tones over each one of these chords. So in this next example, I'll play a very basic solo, again, just sticking to this upper middle string set, the D, G, and B string. And this solo is basically going to be pretty heavily based out of just these triad shapes, but moving around through the different positions and using the notes in those triads to really outline the sound of each chord. So the solo I played at the beginning of this video uses the same kind of approach, but I did jump around a bit more through the positions and the string sets, and I added some extra notes to the triads to kind of glue everything together. If you're interested in learning that solo, the transcription will be available on my Patreon page, and that's a great way to support this channel. As always, thank you for watching. Thanks to everyone for the support on Patreon, and I will catch you next time. Take care.